Welcome back to video production on a budget for churches. Welcome to the next lesson. This lesson is all about exporting. We made it, y'all. We made it. We're at the end of the journey of you caught the vision, you created the backbone, you captured the vision, and now it's time to export the vision. And then next module is all about releasing the vision. So, you can now call yourself a storyteller. One of the oldest vocations known to man. You are now a storyteller. So let's rewatch our story, okay? I'm going to press play. As you can see, we left off, we're at, let me switch over so you can actually see what you're talking about. Boop. All right, great. So you can see here, we are still in our coloring workspace. So now we're going to watch the video again, but we're going to watch it in full screen this time, okay? So in Adobe, for Mac, it's going to be, instead of pressing Command or Option, it's going to be Control and this little squiggly line thing underneath the Escape key. I don't know what it's called. I just know it works. Same thing for Windows. Control, squiggly line. Do it again. Resets. I can do this all day. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to mute my camera here, and we're just going to watch it again. All right. Press space bar. All right, cool. We checked it out. We made sure that it works correctly. Now, I did make some extra adjustments. So so we know how we talked about how we created two different looks, how on each adjustment layer. Over here in the effects controls window over here, you can blend it by changing the opacity to each adjustment layer. So this is what it would look like as it was before. You know how we created different looks. You've got our initial color correction layer, then our first grade that we created, and our second grade created. We created. Put them together, and it looks like that. It's a big mess. It's really red. But what we can do is we can blend the two, okay? So let's try that. All right, let's go to the opacity part. And you can just blend the two right here by going to the opacity. And so now, here's what it looked like. Color correction. Now with it blended. That's what it looked like before. Now after. Now it blended together. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so on to the exporting window or workspace. On Premiere, it's right up here at the very top. Let me bring hey, there I am. Hi. So let's bring this back up. So you can see right here, over here on the left hand of your screen on Mac, your close window, expand window, minimize window is on the left. Windows is on the right, but Adobe Premiere looks the same on each operating system, but you've got your home screen, you've got your import screen, your edit screen of what we've been working in, and now the export screen. Now, here's some really cool things that you can do with the export screen. You can upload straight from a Premiere straight to the social media that you want to send it to, and it will be set up. The encoding will be perfect for it. So that's all you got to do. You can turn it on, turn it off. But for right now, what we're going to do, we're just going to export it for right now, okay? So up here in file name, what you need to do, the file name that it's going to default to is the first clip in the timeline. What you need to do is change it back to what your project title is going to be, okay? For this project, for the project that we're working on right now, is called Plant the Seed Sermon Bumper, okay? So let's put that in. I'm going to do an underscore here. The underscore seed. Now down here, you can set your location. I'm going to set this up. Let's go to my SSD, and we're going to go right here, and we're going to create a whole new folder called renders. Create, save. Up here in the presets, you can change it to different bit rates. You can change it to different bit rates, or you can change it to different sizes. I'm going to always choose 1080p because social media, really, it's still, the basis is 1080p. We're still, yes, now it's 4K, but in reality, 1080p is just as good as 4K in social media, in the social media realm. 1080p is what you're going to see on network TV. Hate to break it to you, but network TV is only 720p. That's your HD. It's only that. Your HD channels on cable, that's up to 1080p if you're lucky. It's when it starts streaming, that's when it goes up to 1080p. Sorry, but not sorry. So I'm just going to select high quality 1080p. If you want to make sure that you have, if it's a really big project and you want it to have just as good quality, but a smaller size, you can check medium bit rate. Down here at estimated file size, it shows 20 megabytes. You can also, so let's see what high quality looks like. 132, but again, this is only a 49 second video. Just think about if it turns into 30 minutes, it's going to be like a couple of gigs or more. So medium bit rate, if it's longer than 3 to 5 minutes, to me, if you're uploading it straight to social media, but you're not going to be sending it out to DVD or any of that nature, I just keep it at medium bit rate. But for this course, I'm going to keep it at high quality 1080p. Format, AAC audio. That is an audio file that will only give you the audio. Same thing for AIFF. Animated GIF or GIF. GIF or GIF. It's whatever. No, I'm going to tell you to use H.264, okay? And H.264 is what social media uses. They are starting to go over to HVEC or H.265, but H.264 265 or HVAC is still a brand new encode, a brand new compression. It's still a new encoder. H.265 is still a brand new encoder, even though it's been out for about 5 years or so with Apple, and DJI does have H.265. Like some of the drones that you can fly natively goes H.265 first. H.265 is a smaller file size natively. It is, but your social medias are still really pushing towards H.264 at this point in time. Now, that could change in the next year or two. I know YouTube is starting to go over to H.265, but I always choose to use H.264 because it's always worked. Okay? So, format H.264. Click down here to video. Basic video settings. You can match the source if you want to. To customize it, you can also go to 4K, UHD, Quad HD, which is 2K. But I always stick to full HD or 720p. I know some projectors only support like 720p, especially if you're in a older church. I know like some of the churches have like their equipment is a little dated. You can match the source. You can change the frame size. HD, again, is 720. Hate to break it to you, but network TV is 720. Aspect ratio. Aspect ratio. What is aspect ratio? Aspect ratio is, think about this aspect ratio. This is 9:16. This is 16:9. Okay. And then one and one. You've got 1:1. That is Instagram. It's a square. Just to tell you that it's a square. Aspect ratio also when you're exporting out to upgrade or upload to export to DVDs or Blu-ray, like you've got right here. You've got NTSC. That's Blu-ray or DVD. Anamorphic, if you shot in anamorphic, like a lot of movies shoot in anamorphic, and a whole lot of YouTubers now are starting to shoot in a 2:1 aspect ratio, and it just means it's really wide. That's all it is, really. It's 2 to 1. So you got 2 to 1. So it's long and then skinny. It's like really short. All right, so let's back off aspect ratio. Let's move down to audio. Audio, I always use AAC as my audio. Audio codec, AAC. I just keep it at the normal AAC, 4800 hertz. That is the quality of the waveform. The higher the sample rate, the more data. The lower the sample rate, the less the data, okay? And I prefer to give it as much data as possible because I like my audio to sound good. Captions. If you had someone speaking on camera and you've already created captions already, you can add captions to the export. Effects. Did you add any effects to it? So you can change it up. Different tones. Lumetri, LUTs. We talked about LUTs in the last module. You can add those here if you wanted to do that. And a bunch of other things as well. You've got a different settings. I suggest that you go and you experiment with the different types and what it looks like. You can also add in some metadata as well. Metadata is everything. Everything has metadata on it. Everything. That's how your iTunes can know exactly what you're playing, because it has metadata. If it didn't have metadata, it would just be going off what the track is called, but it won't know who composed it, who sang it. That's metadata. Same thing with videos. As soon as you start playing something on a streaming site and it starts showing you, like on Amazon, how you're able to break down by scene who's there, that's all metadata. Even your photos on Facebook and Instagram and things of that nature uses metadata. If you don't have metadata, your streaming site's not going to know what this is. So, that being said, let's press export. So, you know how I went back and I put an in point right here and an out point across the entire project here? Here's why I do that. It is so in exporting, I can select the source in out. That way I know exactly what it is going to render out. If you press the entire source, and sometimes I've had it to where I press export and it goes like, it's like a gig file. I'm just like, why is this so big when it's only 45 seconds? In reality, and so I look back at the video and it's just like have 20 minutes of black video, and I'm just like, what the heck, bro? So I like to choose the source in and out. Now over here at the right hand corner where this right here is, see this right here? You can use export or send to media encoder. I'm going to press export, okay? Boom, exported. And it's exporting. It's exporting. Exporting. All right, so it is exported. It should be exactly where we put it. So let's look. Okay, hold on one second. And so now we're over here at the File Explorer or Finder if you're on Mac, File Explorer if you're on Windows, and I have, let's go back out. So now I'm back here in File Explorer and Finder since I'm on Mac, File Explorer on Windows. So let's click X9. That's not the right one. Let's go right here, go to renders, and boom, there it is. Let's play it. Make sure there's no issues. There we go. That's how you export it out. So like I said before, you can now call yourself a storyteller. You can call yourself a storyteller. Boom. Done. That's all it takes. And so now you've learned pre-production, production, post-production. Now, let's start diving into other things. All right. See you then.